Welcome to Wasatch Weekends for this Sunday, September 17th edition. I'm your host, Ben Roof. On today's show, we're going to be talking to digital content creator Joshua Goovy about his trip to Bali, and we're also going to be speaking to Leap Academy about how they can help us improve our skills for today's workforce. But first, a quick local announcement. There is going to be some road construction all week on Center Street. That's going to be from the 100 block to the 600 block near Main Street. Now, during that period of time, residents are asked to do their best to avoid the construction and are not allowed to park on the street. And that's going to be occurring all the way until the 23rd. If you need more information or any current updates on road construction throughout Heber, you can always check out heberproject.com. Now, let's take a quick look at today's weather.
This weather report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
Welcome back to the show. A little bit earlier, Gretchen Pleshaw had the opportunity to talk to digital content creator Joshua Goovy about his trip to Bali and what it means to be a digital nomad and content creator. Let's take a look at that interview now.
I am very, very thrilled to find Instagram. The world of Instagram, I have to say, is awesome because I found this incredible human being. His name is Josh Goovy, like groovy, Goovy, and he's a digital creator that sold everything to travel the world, and now he just has his camera and he has the world, and I am so stoked that you're here. Josh is coming in from Bali. How are you doing, Josh?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Oh my
Appreciate it.
gosh, thank you so much. What time is it in Bali, Josh?
It is 9:20 p.m. Just about to have dinner.
I love
Late
this.
dinner, I guess.
He's being really kind. We pulled Josh from dinner so he could do this interview. He's like, I'll just run back there. It's cool, man. So Josh, you are a digital creator. Tell us your story. You sold everything to travel the world.
I did. Yeah, I had this dream since I was a kid, and it just started fading like the longer things went along and you get more embedded in life, and you do things that you're like, I guess this is okay. I guess this is a good route. And I just kind of, I don't know, I got to this point where I realized I was like, if I don't just make a crazy decision, my life is going to go down a paper kind of cookie cutter route.
Right.
And I just was like, I need a really big change. So I sold everything I had. I moved into my friend's place, which was like a couple hours outside the city, and slept on his couch for about 6 months.
Yeah.
It was rough. It was a really tough year, but I did everything I could to save everything I could so I could travel for a year. And I didn't know where I was going to start or where it was going to end or if it was going to end, but I just knew that I needed to just try and do something crazy in life. And it kind of worked out so far.
Josh, I love this so much because obviously I follow you on Instagram and you're so inspirational because you're so positive and you're just stoked on life and you do the local vibe everywhere, which I'm super into. How do you get immersed in with the locals? I feel like you just have that personality that people are drawn to you, magnetic. But yeah, is it just a vibe that you give off, or how does that happen?
I just think I smile like an almost absurd amount.
Yeah,
to the point
I feel you.
And when you travel alone, I'm not always alone, but most of the time I solo travel. Locals, I don't know, people approach you differently when you're alone, especially when you're traveling alone. And it just, it's funny because I'm not even like a crazy friendly person or anything like that. I just kind of embedded myself in these countries, and people just start to approach you, and I just smile a lot. I really value the small conversations that I have with local people, usually when I'm in countries, because I love culture and I love that. And for some reason, I just feel like I just feel closer with them sometimes than people even from my own demographic.
I
And yeah, you kind of get there.
I love that you said that because sometimes I feel like strangers you do feel maybe even closer with at some points than your friends because and the smile is that universal language, right? It sounds a little Oprah, I get it, but it's truth. It makes everyone just connected. Okay, so tell us a little bit about where you've gone on these travels thus far.
Yeah, so it's been pretty wild. I started in the Philippines. I made my way to Bali, and then I went to Vietnam. That was probably the really big turning point in my trip is going to Vietnam. I got there and I always had this dream of riding a motorcycle across Vietnam for a
Yeah.
month. So I did that, and that's when I really started to get more embedded in kind of local communities and things like that because a bit more off the map. And then I had an opportunity to go on a boat for what was supposed to be 2 months and turned into 4, and we sailed around New Zealand and we sailed to Fiji, which is really cool. And then 2 days before that ended, I found out I was going to Mongolia to ride a motorcycle across the
So
country
cool.
2 days later. And that was, as you can imagine, an incredible experience. And then I went to the Philippines, and then I came to Indonesia, and that's where I am now.
So cool. So very cool. But I also have to say, I love you are so passionate about what you're doing and you're such a happy human, but you're also very real, which I think is so dope. It's so good for people to see that some days traveling solo and traveling where you don't know what you're doing, it's rough. And you say that you're real. You're not like, oh, it's
It
all
sucks
perfect.
sometimes.
Yeah. What is one of the harder things that you've had to endure or something silly that's happened? I know the boat situation, I watched that, but
Mm-hmm. Harder, I think there's a lot, and Mongolia probably was a really tough one because we were riding across the country. I was on a bike, like a bigger bike than I had ever ridden, and we were camping every night. So we were actually just sleeping in tents, and the trip was incredibly just freestyle,
yeah.
to the point that it's one of those things where you're just there and you're kind of like, I don't know if this is safe. Like, this might be a completely absurd
Yeah.
thing to do. And it was really challenging. I mean, I fell a lot. One of the guys actually had to go to the hospital and had to leave the
Oh.
trip. And so just there was a lot of trials and tribulations on
Right.
that trip. And a lot of times where I was just like, man, I can't leave. I can't get out of here. There's no way out. I'm
Yeah.
stuck here now, but I can't believe I'm doing this. And I really hope I survive until the end of it.
It really tests your will. I mean, that's a big
Yeah.
moment. That's a big deal. That's awesome. So you're in Bali, which, as you know, we talked a little off camera, is my dream place. I named my dog after Bali. Yes, the country. How are you doing there? Are you loving Bali?
Oh yeah. I mean, I really love kind of off the beaten traveling.
Yeah.
Bali definitely is not that. So I do kind of miss that component while I'm
Right.
here, but it's extremely convenient, especially where I'm in a position where I have to kind of organize a bunch of things for future trips and things that I'm planning that are really wild.
Right.
And the community here is incredible. To meet so many people that have made similar decisions to me and are as crazy as me and also making it work, it's super inspiring. And you just feel like, wow, I didn't realize that I wasn't alone in this, and there's people doing crazy similar things. It's really cool to brush shoulders with people like that on a daily basis.
Is that who you're out for dinner with? We're gonna go deep. Are you?
Yeah.
Yes, with all because you said you're in this awesome space with all these creators, so you must just feel really alive and have like tons of. I don't know. When I vibe with people like that, I just feel so excited. Yeah.
It's really
The
exciting.
energy's flowing really good. I love that.
It's exactly it. This guy he's actually my neighbor. His name's Lucian. He's an incredible filmmaker. I'm shouting him out.
Yeah, I
And
love that. No,
yeah,
do it.
his Instagram's at I'm Lucian, but he is Italian, and apparently he makes the most incredible pasta. So it's been a big thing we've been hyping up for days.
Cool.
And he told everyone, all these creators that we know, he's going to make a big pasta dinner. It's about 15 of us.
I love that.
Which is a very bold decision on his part, but yeah, it's a good time. Yeah.
I dig it. So, Josh, what is your end game here? I know that you're loving traveling. Can we see you maybe in the future somewhere?
So my end game, I kind of set a long-term goal. Once I realized that this was a thing that I was doing and it was kind of working, I was like, I wanna have a TV show.
Cool.
Not necessarily just about me per se, but yes, about me. But like, some of the messages that I'm still figuring out and the things that I'm still learning, I love sharing them, and I want to explore that on a bigger format. So yeah, that's kind of I don't know if I'd call it an end goal, but that's my next big goal.
After I said that, I was like, you know what? There's no end. It keeps on going and flowing forever. I love that. Josh, what do you think as far as, I know you're so inspirational and you really do have this beautiful positive aura about you and attitude. For other people traveling or want to do what you're doing, what is kind of a piece of advice or a word of wisdom that you would give others?
I think that, and this is ironic because I'm in Bali right now, but my biggest piece of advice, and I tell people I meet here all the time, is that you're not going away. You're not traveling to go somewhere that's similar to home. You're not traveling to do more of the same in a new place.
Yeah.
You're traveling to experience something new. And when you experience new things and you're around new people who are different than you, you find new parts of yourself. And that's probably one of the most important parts. Try and not get too comfortable going to like these vacation destinations. Not that there's anything wrong with them. They're a good time, but try and really go somewhere a bit more off the path for you. Explore something new. And that's where you're going to find some things and your heart's going to really speak to you. And you're just gonna be like, whoa, this is changing me like on a daily basis. And I think that's kind of how I've experienced it. And I've watched people experience this as well. And it's a real thing. That's all I'm saying. But you got to get out there and you got to go places that are a little bit off the path, but it's worth it.
I love that you said that because I'm a firm believer in getting outside of your comfort zone to really find yourself and your truth and living in that moment. Josh, you are so great.
Absolutely.
You're amazing. We're so happy.
Great.
Thank
You're
you.
amazing.
So how can other people find you? Because it's Joshua Gooby. How would you like other people to follow your journey?
Yeah, so guys, if you want to follow my journey, I guess that's what we do now in 2023. You can go to my Instagram, it's at Josh Goovy, or my TikTok and my YouTube are at Josh Adrift. I'm soon going to be posting a YouTube video about traveling across Mongolia and almost killing myself on a daily basis. So
Awesome.
You're welcome to come watch and be happy to have you.
Josh, we loved having you here on Good Morning Vail. I think we're going to hit you up again. We're going to keep on following your journey. And thank you so much for taking the time. Enjoy that pasta.
Let's do it, guys. Thank you. Yeah, I will. Thank you so much for having me. This is super cool. So I really appreciate it, guys.
Have a great time, Josh, and safe travels, and I'll be talking to you soon.
Likewise. All right.
Bye, Josh.
Welcome back to the show. We are now joined by Ilana Golan of Leap Academy, a new program helping skilled professionals learn new skills, especially in the world of AI. Welcome to the show, Ilana.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Ben. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, it's so great to have you. So tell me a little bit about Leap Academy. What is the program? How does the program work? And how long have you guys been around?
So we've been here a few years. And the interesting thing is that there's a big need to help driven professionals reinvent, leap their careers. And nobody's helping them. The education system is not quite there yet. And there's going to be so many that will need to reskill. So whether it's leap to leadership, whether it's to find jobs, whether it's to jump to entrepreneurship, the regular education system is just not coping with this. And we became kind of that for anybody who is driven and really want to take their career to the next level. And it's just been incredible to see these humans, start from somewhere, either they're underpaid or appreciated or just feeling not the best version of themselves and where they can take themselves. And it's just beautiful.
So does Leap Academy focus predominantly on technology skills, or is it helping in all areas of professional life?
Oh, it's a beautiful question. So we do see a lot more professionals in tech, retail, health, finance, so kind of in these arenas. But it actually touches the soft skills that are not taught anywhere. So the emotional, the executive presence, the speaking, the how do you tell your story, how do you understand what you even want, and then the strategies to build your personal brand and really, land those leaps that you want for yourself, charge your worth, negotiate, things that are just not taught anywhere.
So it's going way beyond than just helping figure out the latest and greatest type of spreadsheet or helping to adjust to the newest technologies in the workplace. But like, if somebody was looking to move into management and was hoping to try and find, say, a better management style, something that was maybe less abusive than managers they've had in the past and more inspiring? Is that something that Leap Academy can help with?
It's exactly that. And you also run into the classic chicken and egg. You never proved yourself. So why would we give you a chance? But then you never get a chance. So how can you prove yourself? And you get into these rhythms. And that's why it's so hard to change functions and industries and responsibilities and leap to bigger leadership roles. And that's why it's so needed in the world today. So we're going to see people reinvent themselves and leap every year or two. And nobody's teaching that. You're supposed to kind of go to college, finish your education at whatever 20 something, and from that point on most people are just not touching the things that they actually studied. So this is really to accompany driven professionals to leap faster and higher and really fast track to get the best version of themselves. And when they are, society is better, the workplace is better, the world is better. So yeah, it's incredible to see it.
Well, it sounds like a really great opportunity to help learn some of those soft skills that help improve just how we function in the workplace and how we interact with a lot of our coworkers and everything. But it sounds like Leap Academy's got some hard skills there too. And in the world of technology, so much is changing so fast that I would imagine that that's one way that continued learning can be really powerful, is keeping up on that changing technology.
You're absolutely right. And we're actually in front of a big cliff that I think a lot of people want to ignore. We're going to see millions of roles that will be diminished. And if you don't know how to reinvent yourself and leap to new things, you will get, irrelevant really, really quick. And to me, if people ask me, what is the one skill that will not go away? Yes, a lot of it is the emotional connection, but also the ability to reinvent and leap again and again and again. And having a recipe that does that is really, really strong because, again, we're going to need to adapt fast. And the people that will adapt fast will be able to leap, and those that are not will stay behind. And it breaks my heart. So if we can help as many people as possible, that's our aim.
So it sounds like there's a lot of awesome things that Leap Academy offers, but if people were interested in getting involved, in joining or participating, how could they go about doing so? What are the logistics about Leap Academy that we need to know?
I love it. So first of all, just leapacademy.com, reach out. There's free trainings, there are free strategy calls that you can have as a team. So we really want to help no matter what. If we do find you're a fit, we're going to explain exactly what is the strategy to work with us. If we don't, we teach a lot of free things and we give a lot of free elements. There's also a Leap Show, which is a podcast that I really highly recommend to listen to. There's a lot of really inspiring stories. So download it, subscribe it. It's on YouTube and it's on Spotify and all the typical podcast areas. Because again, I want to inspire you. What you don't see, you don't realize. The beautiful thing is we have people that move from $25 an hour to 200,000, a year. So I'm not saying this is for everyone, but I'm just saying these things are real. But if you don't know they exist, you keep thinking that it's not for you. So really just subscribe, come to the website, leapacademy.com, and, enjoy the free things or join us.
Well, I got one more question for you. So in the way that Leap Academy works, is it sort of like almost like a streaming service where once you've signed on, you've got a series of courses that you can kind of peruse at your leisure? Or do people work with your team to come up with a specific curriculum that's identified to them?
Oh, it's a beautiful question. So it is a combination. So we do have some online stuff. We also have a very, very scripted, engineered process for really driven professionals or teams that want to take themselves to a next level. If we work with individuals, again, the idea is to meet you where you are and reach you higher. And it's not about information, it's about the transformation. So we really want the engineered approach to get the clarity of what you even want to do. How do you tell that story? How do you seriously start, boosting that confidence, moving your network, building that personal brand, and starting to open up to opportunities that you didn't know were existed. So it's a very engineered process together with coaching, together with the network, together with the support. So it's a very, we basically surround you in order to break that pattern of where you've been so that you can get out of the box and into opportunities that you didn't know. So the program itself is very hands-on. But again, there's also online programs and things that you can do on your own. They're free. We like giving. So yeah, I want to give every driven professional the ability to chase their dreams.
Well, it really sounds like that's an opportunity worth checking out. And to have that team there to help support you in your learning and have that little bit of extra accountability too, I've always found to be really helpful when it's just you're out there on your own, just, with an entire subject to learn at your leisure. That can be super challenging. Well, is there any last message you want to give us before we take off?
I just want to let everybody know that there's so much more out there for them. And if they just open the eyes, amazing what's possible. And what if, every single person will go chase their dreams. So, yeah, thank you so much, Ben. It was such a pleasure. And yeah, come to leapacademy.com or the Leap Show. I hope you enjoy it.
Well, Ilana Golan of Leap Academy, thank you so much for joining us. And make sure to go check out leapacademy.com and all of their other fantastic resources. Unfortunately, our tripods are getting a little bit tired, so they got to take a quick break. But after this short message, we'll be right back.
This weather report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this Sunday edition of Wasatch Weekends. Don't forget to catch us tomorrow, where we're going to be showing you a wonderful pasta recipe and talking to local artist Lindsay Aaron. Until then, I'm your host, Ben Roof, and this is Wasatch Weekends.